Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's live stream. This platform aims to provide you with engaging and informative content on a wide range of educational topics. Whether you are a student, a teacher, or simply someone who loves to learn, we have got something for everyone. Today's topic is an introduction to curriculum design and planning. Let's start with today's first slide. The focus area is what is curriculum, different elements for curriculum, templates related to curriculum design, and of course, activities for teachers. After submission of activities, you can easily generate the certificate. Let's move ahead. Now, as the topic is already mentioned in the previous slide, that what is curriculum? So I would like to put some light on this word curriculum before we talk about the planned curriculum. Curriculum is an organized framework that delineates the content that children are to learn, the process through which children are to learn, the process through which children achieve the identified curricular goals, what teachers do to help children achieve these goals, and of course, the context in which teaching and learning occurs. So, number of parameters are given here. We have to talk about the content, we have to talk about the process, we have to talk about the goals also. So let's see what is given ahead. So first of all, we will talk about define learning goals. Learning goals are very important because we are starting from the beginning point and we are reaching the desired outcomes. Learning goals are very much important to reach the learning objectives. After meeting the objectives, we will get the desired outcomes. So, this is the whole process. And when we talk about the curriculum, we have to take all these things in mind before designing it. Determine what skills and knowledge you want your students to acquire by the end of the year, because eventually it is a complete journey for a year. This could include things like recognizing letters, numbers, learning basic math concepts, developing social skills, and building a foundation for reading and writing too. So, here we have to talk about academics and we have to talk about the skills both. Let's move on to the second most important part, that is research based practices. You have to use the practices which are, best on the basis of research. Look for proven teaching methods and strategies that align with your learning goals. As the model is already looking in front, it is already there in front of you. Best practices and teachings, diverse strategies, and student satisfaction. So you have to take care of all these things in mind when you are designing a curriculum. This could include things like hands on learning, play based learning, and differentiated instructions. You can look at previous CBPs for all these different kind of instructions also. We have a content on this platform related to all these different learning styles. Let's move ahead. Create a scope and sequence. Very important. What am I teaching in the classroom? How will I teach it in the classroom? Whom am I teaching in the classroom? How will I know if the students are understanding the content or not? So many questions are there in my mind. So, we have to develop a plan for how you will introduce and build upon concepts throughout the year. This could involve breaking down skills into smaller parts. Definitely, we can make it by splitting the content level wise, manageable steps, and providing opportunities for practice and reinforcement. Reinforcement is the most important part when we are designing a curriculum. Next is choose learning resources. As this picture shows, you have to select the materials and activities that will help your students achieve your learning goals. This could include textbooks, workbooks, manipulatives, technology, tools in the skill lab. So many things are there. Even the smart teachers create learning resources by themselves too. Now, before moving ahead, a small activity for teachers. You have to tell any two resources you use in your phonics class. It can be your own resource which you have designed by yourself, or it can be a resource which you have got from your skill lab purchased from outside. You have to write any two resources you use in your literacy class basically to introduce vowels. So now you have to recall those two resources which you use and how you use them in your session. In brief, kindly drop it in the comment box. Let's move ahead. Now, next step is develop assessments. Very important. Whatever I am teaching in the classroom, whatever the children are learning in the classroom is actually not complete when I'm not making the assessment, when I'm not making my records, when I'm not assessing them. So, create ways to measure your students' progress and identify areas where they may need additional support. This could include things like quizzes, tests, observation checklists, and students' self reflections. As the picture shows, the teacher is actually talking to the children and sideways, taking the observation and making the record of their progress. Now, what will be the plan for instruction? This is my classroom design, and you have to develop the lesson plans that incorporate your learning goals, teaching methods, and learning resources. Very important, teachers. Be sure to include opportunities for hands on learning. Hands on learning is nothing but kinesthetic learners. As we all know, we have three types of learners: visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. So be sure that you have to involve the activities on the basis of these three learning styles. Group work is equally important, and yes, individualized instruction is also required sometimes. So, my plan of instruction should be very clear in my curriculum. Very interesting implementation and evaluation report card in front of you. As you can see, in this progress report card, number of attributes are given on the basis of which you can evaluate the child. Put your curriculum into action and monitor your students' progress on different parameters. Make adjustments as needed and continue to refine your curriculum over the time. It is not like that you have to make a curriculum which will goes for number of years, or you can say for a 5 years or 10 years plan. No, not like that. If you really feel so that you have to make certain deviations, you can go for that. But your curriculum should be a set curriculum on the basis of models, not on the basis of stories. Always take care of different models when you are designing your curriculum. Take care of the theories also. Number of theories are there. Let me move on to the next activity for teachers. How you use Maria Montessori tools in your numeracy session. Very simple question. This question is actually for brainstorming because your numeracy session may have any concept. In that case, how you will use Maria Montessori tool. So it is an open window question. You can use any topic and you have to tell me how you use Maria Montessori tool in that particular numeracy session in brief. Interesting. Okay, now let me take you to the template, the very important thing. I have already told you the different parameters which you have to take care of. Now, this is the template. You can ask for this template. I can share with you on mail as well. So, this is a very simple weekly lesson plan template, right? Curriculum is already designed on the basis of a complete year, right? But sub curriculum plans means sub templates I will share with you, right? So in this template, as you can see, you know, learning objective, lesson concept, plan for the assessment, number of days, teacher notes, and different parameters, for example, high frequency words, then vocabulary, spelling, advanced. So you have to make it a consolidate one for all the different kind of learners, the one who are approaching, the one who are meeting, and the children who are exceeding. So we have children like five fingers in our class. We have to take care of this thing, that how we are assessing, how we are making a lesson plan to meet the need of all kind of learners in my class. When I'm making a curriculum map, in curriculum map, I have to go step by step. you know I have to follow the very first beginning step, that is the hierarchy step, that I will do this thing first of all with hands on learning. After that I will go for visual learning. After that I will go for writing part. So this is how your levels go up and up. When we talk about nursery class, then we talk about LKG, after that we talk about UKG. So that is again the hierarchy of the classes. On the basis of that, the level of your topic should increase. In that case, you will go parallel in each and every class. Otherwise, if you design your curriculum not in a hierarchical manner, in every class the children will face, they will face the transition. So don't make your curriculum in a way that the children will face transition. There should be no transition, there should be no gap. There should be continuity, and level wise continuity should be maintained. Now I want to put some light on this Vac model. In Vac model, different kind of teaching aids are there. So keeping in mind your teaching aids also, you can design the curriculum. So different elements actually I'm putting light on, that which different elements can help you to design your curriculum. If you are thinking of to make a curriculum plan or new curriculum, or launching a new curriculum in a new school, or you are looking forward to refine your curriculum as per the new education policy or as per the new times. So there are number of things which you should take in mind while designing that. Very interesting. I always talk about sitting plan. I always talk about blended learning and blended environment in the classroom. So that is also a part of curriculum. you know Thinking out of the room is also required sometimes. So when I talk about curriculum, it is not just on a paper. It is inside the classroom. Whatever the children are doing in the classroom, that is also a part of curriculum. How they are sitting, that is also a part of curriculum. How they are doing that thing, that is also a part of curriculum. So reading corners, maintaining reading corners in the classroom, maintaining circle time corners in the classroom, very important. Then only you can fulfill the requirement of a complete session. Now I am really feeling happy to share this slide, because I feel that life skills are also equally important in the curriculum. When I'm talking about the life skills, it means certain goals and objectives should also be there when we are talking about this skill. So you have to develop the positive social skills and etiquettes in the children, right? Discipline is something which we inculcate in our children, and when we see them growing with those etiquettes and discipline, that shows the learning outcomes, basically whatever we are doing with the children. And they are just like soft clay. Whatever the impression we give to them, they mold like that way. So we have to develop those positive social skills and etiquettes in the children. Work ethics, learn job interview skills, you know, and listen, speak, and understand English language, become self confident, remove the stage fear. So these are all different part of life skills in a whole. But when we are talking about the curriculum, when we are talking about the curriculum of foundation years, we have to choose out of these objectives what we want. When we talk about the curriculum of middle class, you know middle school, then classes, then we have to again choose the one which we want to inculcate. Again, when we are talking about the higher grades, we have to choose. When we are talking about the different career counseling classes, again we have to choose. So it is a broader spectrum of life skills. We have to choose the attributes which we are actually looking forward in that particular curriculum. It can be for kindergarten, it can be for middle school classes, it can be for elementary classes, it can be for say suppose higher grades. So it is like that. Now let me move towards this part of curriculum, that is fine motor skills and gross motor skills, because we are actually putting light on kindergarten. So here again, age wise, I can see the bifurcation. Fine motor skills and gross motor skills age wise, 3 to 4 years, 4 to 5, 5 to 6. So it is up to primary, right? So here again, when you are designing your curriculum, you can inculcate such things in your curriculum for the all round contour development of the child. When I'm talking about fine motor skills, it is very much important for the writing skills of the child. And when I'm talking about the gross motor skills, it is important for the all round development of the child. Because here we are actually talking about the outdoor learning. Now you are at the point where you want to create the curriculum. It can be for a preschool, it can be for kindergarten. So you are now at the stage where you want to create. So when you are creating, you need a written framework, right? A written framework should list the key elements of the curriculum in correlation to the state's early years learning standards. So yes, learning standards should also be met. So very important, when we are creating something, when we are making a framework, we should take care of this thing. Defining the teacher's role, very important. That is what teacher diary is all about. In teacher diary, we make the notes, and we are actually making the teacher to know about that what you have to do and how you have to do, and which learning, you know, method you will follow, which kind of pedagogy you should take care of, and the different learning styles of each and every child in the classroom. Specific curriculum content. The goal is to teach the whole child in these key areas. Basically, these are the few ones which are there in, in front of you, but still there are more. So language development, literacy, numeracy, science, social study, art, social development. When I'm talking about science, it is general awareness. When I'm talking about social studies, it is again general awareness. So when in kindergarten, basically in foundation years, these subjects are not there, but the related content is already there, and we name that accordingly to their age. Like say, for social studies, science, we use the word general awareness or thematic learning. For maths, we use numeracy. For literacy, we use literacy. Language is involved in literacy only. Social development, outdoor activities, art integration nowadays very much prominent. So this is the specific curriculum content which you should take care of when you're designing your complete curriculum. Now this is the hierarchy. This I was talking previously too. I want to put some more light on this one, that you have to see all these three stages. This is what I'm talking about, that level should be there. Say suppose if this is the level of, class pre-nursery, then this should be the level of nursery, and this should be the level of class KG. So this is actually hierarchy. Sometimes there is a gap, you know. Sometimes, the pre-nursery activities are again repeated in nursery. Then this thing is again, repeated in class KG or LKG. So the gaps are there. Reinforcement is must. But when you are repeating something, repeating and recalling is having a difference, right? When you are repeating the same thing, the class content get hindered. Recall is must of this thing, because you have to move next stage in the next class, but you have to introduce new things. Otherwise, what happened? The learners lose interest. So always decide the level in each and every class. Always decide the stages. The very first stage is concrete stage, then representational stage, and the abstract stage. So you have to take care of all these three different stages in mind when you are designing your curriculum. If you are designing your curriculum in hustle bustle and overlapping should not be there. When overlapping will be there, then the exceeding learners will lose interest. Yes, reinforcement activity should be there for remedial students, definitely. Those can be kept aside and used accordingly. But overlapping should be avoided. Very interesting model, teaching model, where number of attributes are there. I just want to put some light here because our topic is related to curriculum. So teaching is actually, a complete framework where curriculum plays an important role. So that important role should be met when your the curriculum design is perfect, keeping all the models and theories in mind. So remember, teachers, when we are designing something, It should be according to the learning styles. It should be according to different learning parameters. It should be according to the resources which you have. Otherwise, you have to create your own resources, right? It should be according to the environment. It should be involving the life skills, fine motor skills, gross motor skills, art integration, and assessment should be there. Time keep you just have to do that, isn't it? So there should be a particular cycle which you have to follow, or you have to design that cycle also. So now, at last, we are reaching to this point of time where I can see this framework after, this complete journey. I can see this program, plan, and curriculum. Then I have course, lesson plans, activities, instruction methods, and behavior. So X and Y is there, assessment and evaluation, philosophy of teaching and learning. So this is the complete brief curriculum framework where I have to plan something, and that will become a course, and that course is having lesson plans, and those lesson plans are having activities, and in those activities we have to follow certain methods. So at this point of time, I can say the teachers, if we designed curriculum in a proper manner, keeping all the attributes in mind, we will definitely give happy learning to children. So make sure that when you are planning your curriculum, when you are designing the curriculum, keep different attributes in your mind, make a brief plan, and then make a complete map. At last, I would like to say that you should make the children comfortable in the classroom. The curriculum should be teacher centric and student centric both. Student can also feel comfortable when they are getting the content related to their learning style. So you have to understand their learning style, give them that opportunity to be comfortable in that content, and if you feel, you can make deviations also. That is what learning is all about. If the child is not comfortable with your learning methodology, change that methodology, make deviation in the curriculum as and when required. But yes, framework is necessary. So thank you, teachers. Thanks for connecting. Don't forget to leave the answers of teachers' activity in the comment box. If you have any queries, please send at abcteaching875@gmail.com.